Earth is famously perfectly suited for human life. Yet we have a strange compulsion to leave this comfortable surface and push ourselves straight up into the stratosphere or straight down into environments that are instantly lethal to our biology. In 2013, a routine voyage off the coast of Nigeria quickly turned disastrous. A boat carrying a 12-man crew suddenly capsized, plunging directly to the crushing depths of the Atlantic Ocean floor. 3 full days passed before a diving crew finally reached the wreckage. They were dispatched strictly on a recovery mission to collect the remains of the crew. They expected 0 survivors. Navigating the pitch-black wreckage, the divers were entirely stunned. Huddled in the freezing dark, one crew member was somehow still alive after 72 hours underwater. Surviving 3 days at the bottom of the ocean defies basic human biology. To understand how this man lived, we have to look at what it actually takes to survive the absolute highest and lowest extremes of our planet. The ocean floor is aggressively unforgiving. A human body down there faces near-freezing temperatures, immense hydrostatic pressure, and a total absence of breathable oxygen. This sailor survived because of a bizarre quirk of physics. The overturned boat trapped an air pocket inside the hull, giving him a temporary atmosphere. But that pocket was a ticking clock. Over 72 hours, his breathing replaced the oxygen with toxic carbon dioxide. Extracting him was incredibly dangerous. The dive team had to maneuver inside the sunken wreck in total darkness and carefully outfit the severely weakened man with specialized scuba gear just to bring him safely to the surface. His survival required incredible endurance, but it ultimately relied on the blind luck of a trapped air bubble and the immediate application of diving technology. Further up the water column, athletes strip away all that scuba gear to face the extreme odds of the deep ocean entirely on their own. These are free divers. Diving hundreds of feet on a single breath requires years of intense physiological conditioning to suppress the natural panic response and severely slow the heart rate down. Even with flawless training, human biology has a critical failure point. It's called a blackout. If a diver's oxygen drops too low, the brain shuts off consciousness entirely to conserve whatever oxygen is left for the heart. When this happens, safety divers immediately execute a strict 3-step rescue protocol: blow, tap, and talk. They blow air directly onto the face and physically tap the cheeks. This specifically stimulates the trigeminal nerve receptors in the face, which forces the brain to reboot the respiratory system. In an environment where humans cannot naturally breathe, rehearsed rescue protocols act as the absolute last line of defense against drowning. Ascending rapidly from the ocean into the sky, we look back to the 1960s to find a military aviation environment where protocols and sheer willpower are entirely useless. The United States military deployed the Lockheed U-2 for high-altitude surveillance. This surveillance aircraft was specifically engineered to fly so incredibly high that it literally skimmed the very edge of space. At that extreme altitude, the atmospheric pressure is nearly 0. Without physical intervention, the water and unprotected human blood and bodily fluids would immediately boil inside the skin. To survive, U-2 pilots had to be securely sealed inside specialized pressurized gear that resembled a bulky astronaut suit. Unlike the ocean depths, there is 0 margin for biological endurance at the edge of the stratosphere. An airtight layer of engineered technology is the only thing preventing instant death. Whether it is the crushing darkness of the ocean floor, the deep water column of a freediver, or the freezing near vacuum of the stratosphere. Despite the vast differences in altitude and historical era, these environments are universally hostile to human biology. To navigate them, we rely on a specific toolkit: the staggering willpower of a trapped shipwreck survivor, the rapid safety protocols of rescue divers, and the engineered armor of high-altitude pilots. Human history is defined by our refusal to stay in biological safe zones. By using sheer human ingenuity, we find a way to operate in the most unforgiving corners of the Earth.